So if you guys remember, 2019 was the hype train year for BR540-ish type of fragrances. And one of those was Instant Crush by Mancera. Does it smell like BR540, and was it worth that hype train? Stay tuned. What's up fam, it's Cam and welcome back to CFR. So yeah, lots of you in the comments have been like, dude, please stop talking about Aventus style fragrances. Please, please, please. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do BR540-ish type fragrance. In all honesty, this is an amazing fragrance. I actually smelled this fragrance before like its actual release date, and you know, so many fragrances were coming at me. I actually just out of sight, out of mind, I guess. But being that the hot weather is here, I like trying different things to see how it does in the warmer weather. It's not like hot yet, but it is a little bit warmer. And I was thinking, you know, what would be nice and sexy and flirty and fresh and just, you know, have a lot of depth and dimension. This popped into mind, and what better time than to review it now while nobody else is talking about it. So we'll see if this thing is still worth the hype in 2020. The one thing that I remember about this fragrance is the scent trail that it created. My brother would wear this and I'd be like, God, that stuff smells good. It really does. And as far as the Baccarat Rouge thing, it's that saffron. That's all it is. It's the saffron, because this actually has so much more going on. I'm not saying, you know, it's better than BR540. It is to some people. I've actually heard people, pretty significant amount of people, say that they like this better. I am personally a fan of Baccarat Rouge 540. I'm also a fan of Mancera and Montal, who actually get like a lot of hate for some reason. I don't get that. Like, if somebody makes their mind up that they don't like a brand, that's it. Like Juice Box, those presentations are tacky. Mancera, Montal, those are tacky, you know, like the Montals have the little pin on them that shake and bite and throw like a grenade and all that stuff. Same thing they have on Spice Bomb. But I happen to like their fragrances. I think they have an excellent variety. Variety is the word I'm looking for. They have a lot to choose from, and especially like for the warmer months, they have fragrances that really have a lot of personality and create amazing scent trails. And this is one of the most amazing scent trails that I've ever smelled come off of anyone. I love wearing it. It has excellent projection. It has excellent sillage, or at least above average. I know some of you may argue with me about that, but I get 9+ hours easily. As far as like your projection, you're going to get a good 1.5 to 2 hours of good, strong projection, arm's length sillage, if not beyond, because like I said, my brother wears this thing. When I do, I can smell it. He does spray a little bit heavier, and there's certain fragrances I spray a little heavier myself, and then there's some times where I want it, you know, dial back a little bit. If you overspray this one, it can be a little bit cloying because there's so much going on in this fragrance. So they boast this as the 1, 2, 3 knockout punch of jasmine, rose, and amber. Now it also has some really nice like fruitiness and freshness in the opening that you're like gonna be mind boggled by if you've not ever smelled this. It's really fresh, it's really sweet, it's really inviting. You've got some mandarin in the opening. It also has some bergamot, and it has that pop of ginger that I absolutely adore. Then as it goes into the mids, you're gonna get like a melody of rose and jasmine, and then you're going to get those fruity nuances that are still coming from the top. And in that saffron is really, really present, and it's like really kind of like making love almost with the vanilla in here. The vanilla is absolutely to die for. Such a good combo between the saffron, the vanilla. You also get a real creamy aspect from the sandalwood mixing with that vanilla and saffron. So it's not linear. Not linear whatsoever. So you're going to get all those fresh aspects from the brightness of the citruses, of the bergamot and the mandarin, and then you're going to get into those florals in the mids as it's playing with that vanilla and the musk and the sandalwood, which gives it a very, very creamy and sweet aspect. Then as it dries down, you do detect just a tiny, tiny bit of that rose, even though it's like, you know, boasted as one of the big notes for this fragrance. I don't personally get a lot of rose out of this fragrance. I do get a lot of the saffron, a lot of the vanilla, a lot of the fruits, the sweetiness, the woodiness, the creaminess. So I know that sounds like more of like a fall and winter fragrance, but I think this can easily be pulled off year round. Springtime, summertime, just go lighter on application. But this would be more of like an evening scent, I would say. You might, you know, if you went light enough on application, you know, like if you're on vacation at the beach or something like that, if you wanted to wear something, especially like if you're, you know, wanting to go out to the club or if you want to go on a date, just go much lighter with the application. Go heavier with the application as it gets colder. This one does have enough depth to it where it will still project with lighter application. And of course, it's gonna choke your ass out if you go crazy on the atomizer for this thing in the warmer weather. Like the Mancera bottles, they have the screw top and finger magnet on here because of the way this bottle is. Now, one thing that really, like, I used to have problems with some of the Manceras is these lids would actually get stuck. So I'm guessing they've got that sorted out. I actually have I think it's Oud lemon mint in there where it's just jammed. So I actually have to take it out and like do like old school. You know, I can't get it out of there, and if I'm afraid of tearing it up. I think they've got that resolved because I do own a few newer bottles where it does, you know, tighten snug and it's not an issue. And especially like if you're gonna throw it in your bag to go on vacation or whatever, you don't want leakage, this really will hold it in there tight. Atomizer is decent on this, you know, decent distribution. Nothing to write home about, but then again, it's not crappy. But as far as like having a lot of personality, a lot of depth, a lot of versatility, I think this ticks every box as far as that goes. Now, as far as the price on this, you're gonna find a lot of different prices. This does full retail 100 ml for $180, and I have seen it even go higher at some of these boutiques or whatever, but the standard price, I think maybe it may have been Mancera where I saw it was like 180 bucks. Some of these specialty shops may, you know, upcharge another 10 or $20, but you can also check, they do sell some of these Manceras at some of the discounters. Now the variety of what they're going to have in stock is going to be, you know, in and out and inconsistent. You can find these on eBay. You can find sellers in the Facebook groups where you can probably cop this anywhere from $100 to $150, and of course upwards right on up to $200. I've actually seen that, but I don't see why I pay more than retail. 180 is the cutoff, but keep your eyes open. They also sell this in a 60 ml that you can easily get for like 90 bucks. Depending on where you're looking, you might be able to find this 120 ml for 100, 120 bucks. Just be smart with your purchases. So in closing, does this actually live up to the hype still in 2020? I think so. I think that Mancera has been pretty consistent with putting out good and unique fragrances that are not trying to, for the most part, copy other people. Yeah, there's that BR540 in this, there's that Aventus vibe in Cidre Boisé, but they are taking DNAs that work and putting their own twist on them, and then they have a lot to choose from outside of that. Hindu Kush is not like anything else that I've smelled, and I could sit here and rattle off a bunch more, especially like the fresh takes, you know, like marine fragrances that have a oud, which is synthetic oud. So yeah, they have a lot of variety over at Mancera. So don't hate on them, don't knock them till you try them. And if you don't like them after you try them, that's fine. That's fine. That's on you, player. You know what I'm saying? So why the hate? I don't know. Why hate any fragrance brand for no apparent reason? So don't hate on the Manceras. Give them a shot. Give Instant Crush a shot. Until next time, we'll see you next time on Carolina Fragrance Reviews.